A very sombre topic this week, ladies and gentlemen, hence why I dress for the occasion. We gather today to remember the dearly departed and celebrate the life of... Wait. Before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, can everyone please take out your smartphones and please scan the QR code on this person's tombstone. Thanks. Hello! Welcome to Brain Spill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and I swear to God if I was actually going to a funeral, I'd cut my hair and shave my beard. I'm a little bit more well-kept than this if we were going to a formal event. Now, today's video is a little bit different to normal, not only because of the fact that I'm wearing a suit, but the reason we're talking about this topic today is that it's a particularly odd concept that I really wanted to dig into a little bit further. Normally, if you were to die and you opted to be buried, you would have your own plot on the ground with a headstone. So, unless you've got an absolutely massive headstone where you can put an entire essay on it, you are pretty limited in what you can do or say on your headstone. Some people do say that fewer words is best, but for people who like to talk about their own life story even after you're gone, maybe something different is needed. I mean, come to think about it, if you've only got a few words on your headstone, that is literally the few words that you're leaving behind. And if it's not many words, then people are going to forget pretty quickly as generations go on about who you were and what you achieved when you were alive. Your legacy slowly fading away as your name goes into obscurity and your great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren probably don't even know who you are. Wow, we're going down a deep hole here today. But it is necessary so we can now talk about this extremely high IQ alternative that people have started using to basically put a QR code on someone's gravestone. What if there was a way you could leave a more fulfilling and detailed tribute for someone? Well, you can, with this very small square with a bunch of squares and dots on it. This, of course, is a QR code, otherwise known as a quick response code. This is basically like a barcode, and you'll have seen them everywhere in recent memory. Although this was first designed and adopted for the automotive industry in Japan, the concept of using QR codes has become more and more popular. Instead of giving someone a long URL that someone has to manually type into a website, you can just have this thing. All you do is you scan it with your smartphone, using your camera, and it reads the data in the squares to then link you to whatever website or application it's associated with. Like I said, the usage of a QR code originally started in the automotive industry, but if it's that good and it's that helpful, who's to say that this technology can't be used elsewhere? In particular, on a gravestone of all places. This idea has been explored in recent years and is something which is slowly but surely becoming more popular. In 2008, a memorial stone maker named Ishinoki, Yamanashi Prefecture, had the idea to start the making of tombstones with QR codes embedded into the stones themselves. They called the concept this, which I can't pronounce, but it basically means Memorial Service Window. And the idea is pretty simple. The QR code is on the gravestone which links to a website, for example, and when someone scans the code using their smartphone, it redirects them to the website, which would then be set up for anything you needed it to. In this case, this would likely lead to a tribute page for whoever's grave this is, so you can put anything you want on it. You can have photographs, videos, hell, you can even write their entire life story on there if you wanted to. That is so much more than just a simple few words on a gravestone. Think about it. This small little box can house an entire wealth of information about someone, and you can leave behind more of a legacy to explain everything you did and achieved in your life. And come to think of it, it's pretty strange that someone hasn't thought of this earlier, and didn't start using them from an earlier date. The idea has clearly caught on, however, as more and more funeral homes are starting to use this as part of their services, with the stone makers embedding these codes into the gravestones. This gives the family a lot more freedom as to how they wish to design this tribute site. Or perhaps you could set this up beforehand and leave it for everyone behind for whatever your lasting legacy is. So, for example, if you wanted a QR code on your gravestone that, led directly to the Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up on YouTube, then be my guest. So yeah, when I read this article, it was actually quite fascinating because the possibilities are endless. You could literally walk into a graveyard, pull out your smartphone, scan these QR codes, and get an entire history of every single person that's in there. as normally you'd walk in and just see these headstones with a few words of who this person may have been, not knowing anything about them. It's basically like one giant museum of dead people. What's particularly strange about this, which is something I hadn't really thought about before now, is that this would be open to anyone. Anyone from the public could come up and scan your headstone and find out about your life. So I suppose if it's something, if you really wanted it to be out there on a tribute page, then be my guest. This might not be for everyone, obviously. Some people might like to be much more private with what they've done, or perhaps respect the privacy of a recently passed family member, but it's all down to personal preference, and the choice is there if someone wanted to do this. What I find really, really cool about this is that, I don't know, like many years down the line, once you're gone, your great-great-great-great-grandchildren could come and visit your grave, scan the QR code and find out everything about you. They could go on, they could read about your life, see photographs of you, videos of you, basically a time come and gone, which is particularly weird and also kind of makes me want to achieve more in my life so I have more to leave behind. The idea itself is pretty cool and the possibilities are endless, and I can certainly understand why something like this would be very appealing for some people. But I do have some doubts. First and foremost, the technology for the QR code is kind of already outdated. RFID is where a lot of this technology is heading, and although this works now, the point of this is to leave a lasting tribute to someone 50, 100, 200 years in the future. And really, you're going to want it there so people in future generations can come and scan the QR code. If the QR code is an outdated concept, are people even going to be able to use it? I'm pretty sure in the very near future we're going to get something which is going to be even more advanced, which would pretty much take over QR codes, and it's going to be a pretty ancient thing, which kind of defeats the point of having it on your gravestone. The other thing as well is that the QR code will lead to, say for example, a website which, if not monitored, could be changed by some hacker or someone who wanted to put something on it, perhaps in a malicious way, some form of vandalism, except it's digital rather than defacing the headstone itself. If there isn't enough security, people could go on and change anything they wanted to, which again kind of defeats the point of having a tribute for someone in the first place. Pretty messed up, but this is someone's legacy you're talking about. In all honesty, mine would probably lead to this YouTube channel, so once I'm dead, maybe I could earn some ad revenue, who knows. Or maybe it will link to this video, so future generations can look at this video and think, what were those guys thinking? QR codes? Pfft, that's so 2020. Maybe you could have a pre-made tombstone with the QR code you made, which links to a video of yourself talking about the fact that someone's watching this and you're dead. Some super strange, self-aware way of leaving a final message to the world. Will it be something profound and thought-provoking? Or will you basically just trick people by leading them to a video of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up? I guess I'll leave that one to you to decide. This, on reflection, I can imagine is quite a polarising topic, as I can imagine some people would be completely up for this, having the opportunity to leave behind so much more for everyone in the world, or there might be some people that might think this is a little bit too much, and to respect the privacy of the family, they may not want everything out there so some random stranger can come and take it and then post it online somewhere. There's a fine line, you've got to choose where you lie on there, and I'd be interested to find out what you think. Do you think this is a good idea? And in particular, would you have a QR code on your tombstone? Yes, I know this has been a pretty grisly topic today, so apologies for that. A cool idea, but with flaws, no doubt. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified as soon as I upload my next video, be sure to hit the bell button. And if you've got any ideas for what topics you'd like me to discuss next, let me know down in the comments below. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description. I know what I'd do. The thumbnail might be a sneak peek. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.